The key improvement Alexandra Eala has already made to her game in 2026. Alexandra Eala has enjoyed a strong start to the 2026 season, but will be hugely driven to keep on improving. After all, with all the support in the world no matter the tournament, the 20-year-old might soon start feeling obliged to back up the hype with some tangible success. Fortunately for her endless supply of fans, the superstar from the Philippines is already making great strides this year. Just 1 month in fact. Arguably her biggest flaw has shown marked improvement, and should now only get better. Alexandra Eala's big improvement in 2026. There's no denying that Alexandra Eala's greatest weakness is her serve. Frustratingly, that remains the case. If she ever loses, it is usually due to her inability to hold her own serve more than anything, and yet, she'll still fight for every ball. Last season, Eala routinely served below 90 miles per hour on her first serve, offering her opponents an easy opportunity to lash it straight back at her. For comparison, average first serve speed for female players generally sits around 105 miles per hour, with Aryna Sabalenka's numbers hovering around 110 mph. However, whilst only a small sample size, Eala has already exhibited that she is getting far more first serves in, and her percentages have gone up. Comparing her first-round match at the US Open to her recent one at the Australian Open, the Filipina's win percentage on her first serve had increased from 59% to 68%, and her second serve from 52% to 54%. Ironically, that's with a lower percentage of getting her first serve in, indicating she is being far more aggressive. She lost that Australian Open match, where her percentages were higher too. This is not the only change Eala must make to continue her rise up the rankings. Whilst Eala has made clear progress, she is still far from the finished article. However, should she maintain this upward trajectory, particularly with the serve, the youngster is certain to be a threat for many elite titles in the years to come. After all, she routinely causes issues when returning, and plenty of times throughout 2025, she made matches competitive despite being unable to challenge on her own serve. If she could merge that with a more fluid, powerful motion to gain easy points, the sky really is the limit for this Filipina sensation. The defining evolution. How Alexandra Eala's game has transformed in 2026 at just 20 years old. Alexandra Eala stands on one of the most exciting thresholds in modern women's tennis. A moment where promise becomes reality. After a breakthrough 2025 season that lifted her into the top 50 of the Women's Tennis Association (W) rankings, Eala arrived in 2026 not merely as an emerging talent but as a player with profound belief in her capacity to shape outcomes on the world stage. Her capacity to grow is not accidental. It reflects deliberate refinement across physical, technical, mental, and tactical dimensions. Yet, if one improvement stands above all others in defining her early 2026 arc, it is her mental fortitude and strategic maturity, the way she controls pressure, navigates critical points, and expresses calm aggression under duress. This narrative is not just about one match or tournament. It is a holistic transformation that blends competitive experience with self-knowledge and psychological resilience, hallmarks of champions. Let's explore exactly what has changed, how it shows up on court, and why it matters for Eala's present and future trajectory. Point 1. From rising talent to pressure player, the mental shift at the core of Eala's 2026 improvement is a psychological evolution. Earlier in her career, Eala was admired for her athleticism and shot-making talent, but observers occasionally noted that her emotional engine could fluctuate under pressure. In contrast, the early months of 2026, including high-stakes matches at Auckland, Abu Dhabi, and across the Middle East swing, reveal a player who not only handles adversity, but actively thrives on it. This growing mental strength was most visible in matches where she found herself behind yet refused to capitulate. For example, at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, Eala rallied from a 4-0 and 5-2 deficit in the final set, saved match point, and ultimately prevailed in a tiebreak, demonstrating composure rare even among seasoned pros. What makes that comeback remarkable is not simply the scoreboard reversal, but how she achieved it. There were no reckless winners, no panicked errors. Instead, Eala exhibited controlled aggression, threading first serves when needed, extending rallies with intelligent placement, and trusting her length and movement to pressure her opponent into mistakes. This metamorphosis reflects the mental maturity she herself and commentators have begun to emphasize, not just athletic confidence, but strategic calm. Throughout her breakthrough 2025 season and into 2026, Eala often talked about thinking point by point and focusing on her strengths rather than overanalyzing opponents. This mental reset has matured into a competitive backbone, elevating her ability to close out tight sets and grind through long rallies. Point 2. Strategic intelligence. Tennis as a chess match linked closely to mental resilience is a deeper strategic evolution, a shift from reacting to patterns to dictating how points unfold. Tennis at the elite level is not merely about winning rallies but shaping them, sequencing your strengths to expose your opponent's weaknesses, managing risk, and remaining adaptable. These are qualities that often take years of experience to refine. By early 2026, Eala's tactical repertoire has visibly expanded. Where before she could rely on her footwork or baseline aggression, now she combines those strengths with point construction that forces opponents out of comfort zones. This includes controlled aggression on serve returns, not simply swinging freely, but picking moments to attack second serves and redirect heavy serves toward corners. Varying pace and depth, alternating deep driving shots with short, angled winners, disrupting rhythm. Improved decision-making on net approaches, choosing high-percentage opportunities when opponent responses are predictable or weak. This strategic intelligence has translated into results. Eala's semifinal run at the Auckland Open saw her dispatch multiple top 80 players with smart, targeted aggression, not raw power alone. That it's the blend of tactical awareness with physical execution that distinguishes good players from elite ones, and Eala now demonstrates both. Opponents can no longer simply rely on their ranking or pace to overwhelm her. They must adapt and turn to her growing strategic versatility. Point 3. Composure under fire, redefining pressure moments. One of the stark shifts in Eala's game is how she handles pressure moments. Whether it's break points, tight second sets, or saving match points, 2026 has seen new levels of steadiness. Contrast this with her earlier career where tight moments sometimes resulted in rushed errors or tactical hesitation. In Abu Dhabi and other early-year events, Eala's ability to stay present, trust her patterns, and focus on one point at a time helped her pull through situations that historically might have overwhelmed her. This capability is crucial because top-level tennis is often decided not by a single great stroke, but by a player's reactions when the scoreboard tightens. The fact that Eala now wins these moments more consistently signals a transition from being competitive to being a genuine threat in big matches. That mental evolution is a direct contributor to